So I get the new charge. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I see 10 to 15. I see 2 10 to 15. I see 3 3 to 8s. They hit me with 2 first-degree assaults. They hit me with 2 second-degree assault. Extreme indifference. Y'all can go look that shit up. That's crazy. They said I had the attention to try to, you feel me? So after that, I was like, fuck this shit. I'm on the run. So when I picked up that case, I picked up the case in 2022. I was out on like two, 3 different bails. I was out in New Hampshire, I was out in Mass, and I was out in Rhode Island. For the one I just got out of in March, that shit just led to so much. I ended up picking up a federal charge.
Ain't got a moment when they see you down, there's no they love and all.
Definitely shout out my man B. Luke for this. Shout out K Mafia. Shout out the whole LOE. Happy birthday, Huncho. Big shout out to the Big Fours. Shout out to the city again. You feel me? Let's get it.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bounce Back Podcast. I'm your host, B. Luke. I got a special guest with me today. He might look familiar to some of y'all, but why don't you tell the people your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself.
School Gotti, you know what I'm saying? Head of the mob from Roxbury, Humboldt Ave, you know what I'm saying? If you know. A little about me, y'all know me as an artist, producer, engineer, DJ, promoter, etc. You know what I'm saying? I do damn near anything you can think of, I do it. You know what I mean?
Talk about how long it is you've been doing music, you rap. What did you do first? Did you start producing? Did you start rapping, being an artist? I mean, talk about like the timeline that led up to you now kind of doing almost everything. A little bit of everything.
So pretty much realistically, I started off rapping. Like I wouldn't say rapping. I started off doing poetry at first. You feel me? I was getting in trouble a lot. My mother, she sent me down to my pops, but before she sent me to my pops, again, I'm from Humboldt, you know what I'm saying? So I used to grow up to like my cousins like Holiday, you know what I'm saying? And then they used to rap in the hallways. And again, I used to turn my frustration into rhymes when I was learning poetry and shit like that. So that led into me rapping. My dad had this little computer room. I was like, fuck it, let me turn this into a little studio, you know what I mean? I was getting in trouble so much. And then over time, that's when I started making my own beats. Once I got into the knowledge of like, you know, the royalties, you gotta purchase your own beats, you gotta have certain licenses and all that. I'm like, shit, well, I don't know how to do that, you know what I mean? I'm computer savvy and shit like that. So that's when, you know, the rap came, the beat came, then I started engineering, then I started fucking with the board DJing, and you know what I'm saying? I had met Moth over time, and then that's when I started doing the shows for real, and then that led up to everything I do now.
Right, and that led up to you and Moth coming.
City, I'm not a hater, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a street nigga, you feel me? I got my problems in the city, but that don't mean I hate on the city because what I'm trying to do with the brand and us, period, as a man, you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to be up here. So it's like vice versa. When I get up here, they're gonna be like, oh, where that nigga's from? They're gonna say the city. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to
meeting, and then here you are back,
here we are.
For the solo interview,
yes,
bro. And I appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate you more, man.
For sure.
Yes,
so talk about, I guess, how long it is you've been out, and like how much total time you got in, kind of in and out, one long one. I guess kind of briefly run me through that.
I've been out since March. I did my county bid. For that county bid, I was fighting that case for 2 years. In the midst of me fighting that case, I was kind of in and out, like, you know what I'm saying? I pick up a charge out of state, then bail out. Then when I picked up that case, I picked up the case in 2022. I was out on like 3 different bails. I was out in New Hampshire, I was out in Mass, and I was out in Rhode Island. For the one I just got out of in March, that shit just led to so much. I ended up picking up a federal charge because so how I first started, I got the case in 2022. They didn't bring me in court. They sent me a paper at first for court. And it's weird because, you know, it's out of state. And then once I seen the letter, it was 2 misdemeanors, 2 assaults. And then like 2 weeks later, some shit, I get like another letter in the mail. Mind you, when I first got the first charges, it gave me a court date. I went to that court date. I go there, I'm waiting at the court, and they don't call my name, mind you. I asked the clerk and everything, like, yo, is this the right room, etc. They like, yeah, that's the room. Waited till they called everybody's name. They get to me and it's like, oh, they issued new charges, da 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 da. So I get the new charges. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I see 10 to 15. I see 2 10 to 15. I see 3 3 to 8s. They hit me with 2 first-degree assaults. They hit me with 2 second-degree assault. Extreme indifference. Y'all can go look that shit up. That's crazy. They said I had the attention to try to, you feel me? So after that, I was like, fuck this shit. I'm on the run. So
was that on the How did you catch the federal charge?
So
Was
I
that
caught-
on the inside or afterwards?
So I caught the federal charge again when I got that second paper. When I got that second paper, that's when they upped my charges. I got indicted. I secretly got indicted, and they didn't tell me. So once I found out I got indicted, I said, y'all can catch me, you feel me? I said, fuck y'all. I was on the run for a little bit, you feel me? And when I was on the run, that's when they put a fugitive warrant out on me. And that was the federal charge I was fighting.
Damn. So, I mean, how do you find out that you got the federal warrant? Now, the same thing, did it come in the mail or?
Nah, hell nah. This time, like I said, I went on the run, but how I structured it, I can't even say much, but how I structured that, but I was on my way to go pick up my cousin, you feel me? He was locked up. On my way to go pick up my cousin, I kind of knew I had a warrant. I just didn't know it was like a federal, you feel me? I didn't know it was a fugitive warrant. I didn't know it was that deep. So I was in the midst of go picking up my cousin. We getting pulled over. I don't even have my license at the time. I lost my license from another case.
Yeah.
When I got pulled over, the cops just telling me like, you know, you got felonies out of state. You got a whole fugitive warrant. We got to take you to Plymouth County. I'm like, Plymouth County? That's the federal jail. What am I going there for? You're not listening, son. You got a federal warrant.
Wow. So what, now the feds pick you up, and then what happens in Plymouth? How long are you in Plymouth? You don't get a bail, right, with the feds or anything?
Nah,
You're just
hell
sitting, I
nah.
guss, talk about how long it is you're there, and then.
So I sat down there for about a good month going on 2. The judge denied my bail. Wow. When I first went in, they straight denied it. They sat me down. They wanted New Hampshire to come pick me up. And it was like, you know, the feds is like, whatever New Hampshire say, that's what, you feel me, you're gonna have to go from there with that fugitive warrant. So I was sitting in Plymouth for about a good month, going on about a month to 2 weeks, a month to 3 weeks. They said they lied to me too. They like, yo, if New Hampshire don't come get you in 7 days, we'll release you. So I'm sitting here thinking I'm about to get released, you feel me? And then all this time I didn't get released, and then they finally come pick me up. They finally come take me out there. I get extradited out of state. Then I had to, you feel me, go through that process all over again, and then boom, you feel me?
So you end up going to trial with the feds, or what happens? Most people, I feel like, don't want to go to trial with the feds and take a plea.
Yeah.
Is that part of your story? What happens?
Nah, so part of my story, again, once I picked that federal charge up in Plymouth, again, they said they was going to do whatever they was trying to do, you feel me? So New Hampshire just wanted me, you feel me? They didn't care for anything else. They just wanted me to answer to the felonies that I already, you know, had pending. So the feds ended up dropping the charge, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm already in New Hampshire's custody. Right. I went to court, and once I went to court, they ended up giving me a bail. So now I bail's out again. You feel me? And I end up bailing out again, and then I'm still fighting it, but I'm going to court, and they're trying to tell me like, yo, you're gonna have to turn yourself in. I actually end up taking the plea on that one because the first plea they was trying to give me, they was trying to fuck me. You see what I'm saying? So I'm already on camera for certain shit. The state felt like I overreacted in a self-defense case. So it was just like, at the end of the day, they wasn't trying to give me no probation and none of that because I was out of state. And truth be told, I just felt like it was racist. You see what I'm saying? Everybody was telling me the same thing. Like if I wasn't black, I would never have to go through none of that shit.
Right. You think that it's because it's New Hampshire and it's kind of like the sticks out there, and you being from out of town probably don't help too.
Yo, B, New Hampshire, it's illegal. First, it's illegal to be black out there, 1. 2.
I know you don't want to get pulled over for speeding. I know that much. They don't fuck around.
Hey, yo, fuck speeding. Weed, they treat weed like it's crack or something, but nah, on some real shit, man, don't go to New Hampshire. No bullshit. Like, even if you're out of towner, like, they will keep you. And again, I seen people in the county and in their county and see how they was treating their own people. New Hampshire just want the money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They want the money.
My mom had that case out of New Hampshire, like a simple shoplifting, and it was just such a headache for her. She don't got a license, you know what I mean? So talk about getting to court and all that stuff. It was just something that would be so small out here, like a quaff or something. Like she had to deal with them and out-of-state probation. I forget what exactly came of it, but I know it was always a headache, man. So I hope my whole thing is too, like, first of all, you don't want to be doing stuff anyway in your state, but definitely don't want to be doing stuff. If you be doing stuff, you don't want to be doing it out of state, man. It just gets a little crazy. Like you said, different states, they got different rules. And when a lot of us, we think we know the law, for this state, and most of the time we might not know as much as we think we know, but then we think we know it, and it encompasses all. But different jurisdictions, New Hampshire's different than the feds. I mean, everything's different.
Everything's
so
different.
I would suggest, like, yeah, definitely. Crime's not paying. That's why we're doing this right now, man. Podcasting to trying to spread the message. So, what is the ultimate plea bargain that you take in New Hampshire?
The first plea, they wanted me to plead out to the felonies. I wasn't pleading out to the felonies because, again, they said I overreacted, which if you see the video and all that shit, you'd be like, shit, 2-on-1. I don't feel like you overreact. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I was trying to get something where it made sense. You know what I'm saying? And what made sense with me, my lawyer, which was if I plead out to the misdemeanors. I'll plead out to both misdemeanors, but none of the felonies, you know what I'm saying? And again, the second plea, all right, so the first plea was basically I plead out to 2 felonies, 1 first degree, 1 second degree. Both, I got hit with basically 6 charges, but it's 2 twice. So it's like 2 first degree assaults, 2 second degree assaults, 2 assault and batteries.
And that's because
it's 2 victims.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's 2 victims. So the first plea was I plead out to the first degree assault and the second degree assault, extreme indifference. Again, the first degree was 10 to 15 and the second degree was 3 to 8. So they wanted me to plead out to both of those and basically said, all right, if you plead out to both of those, you can serve basically like a 2 to 3 in state prison. And then I had to come home 5 years parole, 5 years probation.
Yeah.
On top of pay for both medical expenses, community service, anger management classes, and etc. So I was like, I can't plead out to that. I'm having a child at this time too. Like me going in, I'm having a child. So again, we was fighting that shit for a while, and we got it down to the second plea, which made more sense. Was me pleading out to both misdemeanors. If I plead out to both misdemeanors, I'll go sit down for a year. I have time hanging over my head, so basically I'll just do 1 sentence. The other sentence I wouldn't have to do unless I get convicted for something else, but I have to stay out of trouble for 5 years.
So is it like a suspended sentence kind of deal?
Basically, yeah. The sentence is suspended along. You feel me? I stay out of trouble and shit like that for 5 years, which is
absolutely. I mean, hey, the way I tell people, like, especially, you know, if you plan on staying out of trouble, it should be easy, but it's not. I mean, we hit roadblocks too. I kind of lucked out, I feel like, with my probation, with it coming during, half of it during COVID. So it was kind of just like phone call every month, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was hoping, like, at the end they were going to waive the fees because I just wasn't paying, but they were like, yeah, they're like, when can I was like, I'll pay it today. I had it,
just
but
to get it over with.
Yeah, man, but I don't got
with
luck like that, man. But so you were also saying too, about, like, you had other out-of-state warrants. Did you have stuff in Massachusetts too?
So,
did they like forthwith? Did they put everything saying like you're in New Hampshire's custody, or did you still have to Mass anything? Or
nah. So the shit with Mass. So basically, about time, cause again, I was fighting that shit in 2022. So I kind of already had, like, I was already on the shit in Mass in New Hampshire. The shit in New Hampshire, I mean not New Hampshire, Rhode Island. It was some petty shit. Like I ended up catching I caught 1 little DUI type shit. I ended up beating that shit, but I had this fleeing from the officer type of thing. But that ended up getting dismissed, and then I had that same one in Mass. You feel me? I ended up losing my license because that fleeing from the officer, but it wasn't really an officer, it was the detective. You feel me? On my card, it wasn't. You feel me? No light. So obviously that shit just got dismissed. So I didn't have to suffer no repercussions.
So was that one instance where it was a chase from like Rhode Island to Mass, or it was just two different, completely separate days and everything?
Yeah, literally 2 different like scenarios. Like, like again, where I come from and you know, Boston and shit like that. Like, I was at that time too. I was going through it with the police. Like I had a whole assault and battery with them that got dropped too. You feel me? So I just felt like they was on some shit where they was just kept following me type shit, and it just led to that. You know what I mean?
So talk a little bit about, right? You say you're about to have a kid. You got this plea, even though, you know, it's a year, but still any amount of time, especially when you have to go in voluntarily, like from the street, walk into court, like. I mean, what's going through your mind during all of that?
this
Is that
shit.
something like where you're like, man, but it's like, damn, I want to go to jail.
Jail
Like
right now.
nobody really wants to, but then it's like,
Yeah, get
in
the
your
shit out
head,
the
like
way.
it's probably the best thing to not risk it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And go to trial and get smacked or whatever. So I guess talk about the mind state
The
and
mind
then
state.
add that on top of you about to be a father and everything too. Like what's going
I'll
on? How
keep
do you
it
not
100.
crash out?
Yo, I'll keep it 100 with you. It wasn't really easy. I really turned myself in because I had a conversation with my girlfriend's mother at the time, and truth be told, I still would have been on the run. You know what I'm saying? I just want to go into this because again, I'm having a kid at the time, so it's like I having a kid now. I don't go do this. This shit gonna get worse.
Right.
You know what I mean? So mentally, I was just trying to prepare myself because again, I was coming somewhere where I was like, I didn't have to be in the streets, you feel me? I didn't got to the point in my life where I could have just said, you know, boom, let me travel and do this, because that's what I was doing for real. But again, you know, having that kid, that's something I always wanted. So, you know what I'm saying? When I was born, my dad was fighting the same shit, basically dealing with the same shit I'm dealing with. So that's all I'm thinking in my head is like, damn, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to bring my son in the world and he can't really see me like that. So throughout that whole little shit, I'm just trying to get my mental, you know, strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about business, LLCs. I'm sitting here like, just thinking like, all right, you know what? I'm about to go ahead and answer this. I have to go sit down, do this real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. It wasn't, I'm not gonna say like it was easy, you feel me? But for me, honestly, I'm really someone where I could stay to myself. Like, I don't have to go click up with them over there because they over there, you feel me? I just kept me a little routine, kept my mind like focused, honestly, business. Like a LLC, that's all I thought about. Cause I'm like, this is gonna be the jump start to change my life. This is gonna be the jump start to, you know, fund my son, you know what I mean? Make me a little trust for my son. That's all I really thought about was the bigger picture. So just having them honestly gave me that motivation to get over that hump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's absolutely, man. That's fire. So talk about like life on the run, right? Like what's that like? I mean, maybe, you know, break it down for, you know, the kids out there. They may be caught up in the wrong thing and they think it's all fun and games. I mean, like, how do you sleep at night? I'm sure every loud noise, the jumping. I never really did the on the run thing.
Yeah.
But I feel you though too, because it wasn't so serious a charges, right? If you're facing like a smack or something, it's like if you're gonna go, like, you know, you're gonna sit for like a decade or something. I understand the being on the run thing. We ain't gonna be young forever. But talk about like the whole experience of being on the run and what's that like, and like how you gotta move. You know, you can't gotta get licenses. I don't know. You know more than me, so break that down.
No, honestly, for me, like even what you were saying, like, you know, smack or not, I just had that mindset, like, nigga, whether it's a smack or not, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether you're going to, if you're not like a skinner, of course you're going to go to jail. You're going to get treated a certain way. So I never looked at it like damn, like I gotta go in.
Yeah.
No one want to go to jail, so I'm always just bobbing and weaving. Being on the run, you always like, you really got to be aware of certain shit. You got to be mindful of certain shit. It was people I wasn't really talking to like that, and they like hit me on some shit like, why you ain't talking to me? You had to leave them on red and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's not more so me detached. It's just like, again, I wasn't ready at the time to go answer those folks or just wasting my time and just sit behind bars for no reason. I look at it no reason because, again, they said I overreacted. When, again, if you see this video, how did I overreact when it's a 2-on-1 situation? I'm defending my life, you know what I mean? But you just really got to be mindful of a lot of things, you know what I mean? One thing I was focused on was getting some money because I know, again, how I'm doing hot shit, I'm on the run, I could fuck around and get caught any second, so I need some type of money, that way I can take care of myself, because at this time, I was all I had. I didn't have my girlfriend support, we wasn't even together, you see what I'm saying, at the time. Me and my family, we going through family issues. I'm the oldest of 4, my mom's not here, me and my pops, we not like, we cool, but we not, I can't pick up the phone and be like, yo, dad, that, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, so I'm had to figure everything out. So one thing, what I was doing in that process was trying to slow down and get my mental together. Because if you don't, you're gonna be fucking around doing any and everything, not really thinking. And now you're gonna put yourself in a whole bigger situation. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So talk to me about like how it works in New Hampshire, right? You get this time. Is it like counties up there too? Is this county time? Is it state time? I know some places like more than a year might be state. So I guess break it down, and I guess like, what did you know going into it about New Hampshire in their system?
I didn't know nothing about New Hampshire system, B. I ain't gonna lie to you. And when I got in their system, I'm like, yo, this place is wicked. So how they do their shit, they got the county, they got state and all that shit. They wanted to send me to the state, but again, when I pled it out to those misdemeanors, what they did was they allowed me to do the year bid. It's weird too because out here in Mass, like you serve a year, that's obviously 8 months. You get good time.
Right.
Out there, it's weird. You go to court, the judge will tell you like, yo, you getting good time. You get in the county, now you're sitting in the county, they'll tell you like you don't have no good time. You gotta apply for good time.
Yeah, like get a job in school.
They tell you gotta get a job. Even if you don't get a job, you gotta like participate in certain programs. Yeah. You just have to like keep you can't have mad tickets. Put it like this, how they was doing their shit, they had like they had A, B, and C. Those is all different violations for
different levels.
Different levels of the ticket. So A serious, B's almost serious, C's just, just a regular ticket, some mediocre bullshit. So it's like if you got more than 3 A's, your good time is automatically getting taken away.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So how they was doing it in the county, I didn't get to touch the state again because I played it out to go to the county and just finish my shit. So how they did it was, if you do a year, if you have more than I put it like this, if you have more than one sentence, you would do that time. After that time, you'll redo it over.
Damn.
You get what I mean?
No, I don't. What do you?
You don't
what do you
get
mean?
what I mean? So all right. So say your first sentence is a year. Say you got 2 charges, right?
Yep.
2 misdemeanors. They both set out for a year.
Okay.
So now when you sit in the county, you would do your first year sentence.
So they don't run it concurrent. They do like on and after kind of deal.
Kind of thing. Like yeah, it's weird.
That's crazy.
But that's New Hampshire.
So who decides that? Is that something that is decided by the judge, or is that something while you're in there? Like
that's something while you're in there.
Like classification kind of deal.
It's just like a classification type of thing. Because again, the judge was telling me like you would have to do it like this. Yeah. And then again, when I touched the county was like, no, we don't know what the judge said. This is how we doing it. And I'm just like, what? Again, the first thing was a year. So I'm like, okay, I just got 8 months I got to do. That's what I'm thinking the whole time. Damn near, it's like around 7 months. I'm like, shit, I'm about to go home. I'm on the phone. They hear my phone calls and shit like that. Now they end up bringing me in to sit one of the supervisors or whatever, lieutenant. He's telling me like, you don't have good time. I'm like, what?
Wait, so he just called you in there off of something you were saying on the phone?
On the phone. Like he literally kept hearing me like on my calls to my shorty and friends like, yeah, I see you. I'll be home soon. Oh, I'm 7 months in. I just got 1 more month. Like it's weird. Like they shut your calls off when they hear certain stuff. Yeah. Like they really be on it. But yeah, he had pulled me in because I had gotten a situation where I thought I lost my good time, but you feel me? They didn't. They gave me the A violation, but again, I didn't get 2 more. So I thought if I got 1, they just automatically take my good time.
I was gonna say, so they could take your good time, because I feel like in Mass, once you earn that, like if you mess up the next month, like you still have that from the month before. They really can't touch that. That's not the case in New Hampshire.
Hell no, it's wicked. That's what I'm saying. That's wicked. And in New Hampshire, like, listen, those out there who got people in New Hampshire, ask them about this.
Yep.
Ask them about Rockingham County. That's where I was at. If you think I'm lying, ask Berlin. That's the state. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Ask anything about what I'm saying. I promise you, they're going to tell you this. This is facts.
Absolutely. And a big shout out to my guy, Mike Anderson, from New Hampshire, from the 603. He blessed the platform, but he's always tuned in. So I know you tuned in, man. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out to the 603, bro. So talk about getting up to New Hampshire, right? Yeah. You're from Boston. You're a black dude. I mean, what's that like there? You the only, like, what's the number? Are you the minority or like, what's going on?
Yo, it's crazy because when I touched down to the unit, I turned myself in July 15. So my son was born in June. In June, basically when I touched down, I was the only minority, you know what I'm saying, in the camp. In June, what had happened was, in June, it was a riot. So they had a unit for everyone that's from Boston or whatever. Put it like this, they had Boston and New York all in one unit. Yeah. And then the rest of the units is just New Hampshire. So if you was from Boston or New York, you go on that one unit. Yeah. So before I got there in June, there was a riot that had broke down on that unit. And they ended up shipping all those guys out. Yeah, damn. They ended up shipping them out. So by the time I touched down, I'm literally the only one. It's me, it's a whole bunch of white guys. There's a few Spanish cats now. And what they started doing, they started to put the blacks in the Spanish, or they started putting me with the Spanish, and then a few more blacks started to come in.
So what do you mean by that? Like in the cell? What do you mean they put you with the Spanish? Like
Like-
they like made cellmates with a Spanish?
Nah,
guy, or-
so you know how like on the block, right? Like when you in classifications, right? You know how boom, this side come out, that side sitting, that side come out, this side sitting,
Yeah.
type of thing. When I first got in, I was on this side with like, you feel me, just the white dudes and shit. Then they started getting a few more Spanish dudes coming in. So boom, they threw them on that tier.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know what, we're gonna take you from this tier with the white guys, go throw you over there. So now you got the white guys coming out, then you got the Spanish side coming out, you got me coming out with them.
That's crazy. So how much time did you end up doing there before you get out? Did you get any good time? Did you do the year, 2 years, day for day almost? Or what, like how much time did you do in New Hampshire
I
before you
ended up
got
getting my
out?
good time.
Say it again?
I ended up getting my good time.
All of
luckily.
it?
Yeah, 8
So you
months.
got
I just did 8 months. I just
Okay.
did the 8 months and then I was out of there.
And
Well, I had a little time credit, so basically I ended up
Okay.
getting out. I probably got out 2 weeks before it was supposed to be. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Was
and,
that-
and that's another thing.
was that from Plymouth? Where was that credit from?
They didn't even, and that's another thing I meant to talk about. They didn't give me that time either. They didn't credit none of that. Cause again, when I was in Plymouth,
Because you bailed out, right? Is that what it was?
I think that's might have
I think if you're out on bail, that's why. Because I had an instance too.
weird.
No, I had an instance too back in the day in 2005. I was on probation and I had a serious case, but I had a smaller case too, and they were trying to get me so I had the attempted murder, which never even got indicted, but that's when I was actually in Plymouth. I got shipped out of Cambridge. They were doing that every week, but pretty much instead of giving me a personal on the smaller case, they gave me a $1 bill, and then they just kept. So my lawyer was kind of hip.
They still do that.
Yeah, so he was
I heard
kind of
about
hip to
that.
the, but that's probably what it was because maybe you were already out on the bill. Maybe they didn't give it to you, but usually they revoke it and then you gotta sit. But so where did you get the
kinda
credit
weird.
from? Yeah, talk about
It's kind of weird though because I ended up bailing out twice for the same case.
crazy.
Like would you? I never heard of that. So
Right.
so basically, all right, put it like this. That night, right? The night it happened, I got picked up. Boom, I go there. I had like I think it's 1,000 or 1,500, one of them, whatever. I end up bailing out. My man's bailed me out.
From the police
Shout out
station?
Vass.
From the police
From
station?
The police
So you
station.
never been
Shout
to-
out my nigga Vass John. He
Absolutely.
bails me out. Boom. Now I'm out. Again, I go home and shit like that. Now this is when I get the letter. Cause remember I just bailed out. So a couple days later, boom, I get the letter in the mail. For remember these are the first charges I'm getting. And then I get the second charges. Cause remember I get the first letter, I go to the court, whatever, I'm waiting, they don't call me. Boom, they saying, oh, you get new charges. I got the new charges, now I'm on the run.
Damn.
Then I get picked up, and then once I get extradited again, now it's bail, you know what I'm saying? Again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like,
So by the time you start knowing you're getting short, I'm sure you thought you were getting out, you know. So did you start developing like a plan? What was the plan for your reentry? I guess that you started developing, just locking in with the music and everything like that, or expound upon that. Now you're a father coming out.
so you talking about like coming out, like my game plan
Yeah,
coming
exactly.
out? So
you know what they
basically,
say, you failed, you know, what do they say? You failed to plan, you plan to fail. You know what I mean? But at least
yo,
you
I'm
gotta
not
have some
gonna
way
lie.
to go.
I ain't gonna lie. I felt like it sounds crazy. I'm not gonna say I needed it, but in a sense, it gave me a kickstart. The direction I was trying to go. You know what I mean? Get in. But it's like after I got out of jail, it's like I'm serious now. Like you know what I'm saying? I didn't get so much cell time. I didn't experience motherfuckers I thought was solid, ain't solid. Like you get to start seeing this shit in jail now. So now I get to thinking about everything I reflecting on in life, and I'm just like, yo, I got my son. I always wanted to do this. So I'm just like, how could I make it make sense? Again, I was thinking about the LLC and focus on that. So since I've been home, that's been my main focus.
Yeah.
I've been getting my money together, trying to build myself up, start my company. You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest goal. Like everything I've been through in my life, I'm trying to just get shit structured and prepared for my son. So that way he won't have to be in those streets or feel like he, you know what I mean, need me or anything or anybody. So that's honestly been my focus. You know what I mean? That's been the game plan. And music, it just so happened to fall in line. Like I really never cared to rap. Since I've been home this time, I've been dropping little snippets.
Yep.
K Mafia is like, yo, you
Got
about
something.
to rap. I was just like, what? Him and everybody telling me like, yo, you need to rap. You got a voice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's been the game plan. We're just focusing on the business and get this music shit off the ground as well.
So talk about that, the LLC, right? What is it like? What is the LLC? What you got a certain name for the company you got? What are you trying to do with the L? Is it an entertainment thing or? the music. I guess break that down for me. Where
So
you going with that?
I ain't gonna get y'all the drip just yet for the name, but what I'm
that's
gonna
fine.
what I'm gonna say
That's
is it's a
fine.
production company. You know what I'm saying? It's just the only reason I won't get a drip because I'm still learning certain things.
Yeah, and you don't want somebody to probably steal it or something.
You
too.
see what I mean?
No, I got you.
You see what I mean? So yeah, basically it's a production company, and before I was thinking about it on a professional level, I was already, you know, like I said, doing shit with Moth. You know what I'm saying? I was actually doing shows. I'm actually engineering a lot of artists you hear in the city, producing for them. So I'm just like, let me put that in an aspect where it makes sense with the business, because I didn't really know about the credit. I didn't know about the taxes and all that. I didn't know about the write-offs and certain shit you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just coming from the streets making street money. You know what I'm saying? My money don't got no taxes, none on them. So now I'm learning about the LLC lane, the business lane. I'm just like, okay, how could I have my formula, mix it in with this business shit? You know what I'm saying? What could I do with this?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Have you ever looked into what's called, like, I don't know if it's like a poor man's copyright or LLC almost deal, where you get something? My brother was telling me, man, shout out to JoJo. He's locked up. He knows more than me. He was telling me too. It's something where
JoJo.
if you could get if you get something written out and get a notary and something mailing it out, it's something you should look up. I'll send you the information and Google it or something like that. It's like a poor man's LLC. I'm sure somebody in the comments probably knows if you could drop it in the comments, but it's something to look into,
like
you know what I mean?
A poor man's LLC. I think I hear that.
Yeah, I think it's something like that where it's like you get something notarized and you know, it's, I don't know, it's like retroactive kind of deal, but I'm not gonna pretend to be like a big businessman or something
Nah,
like that.
listen,
I'm just trying to throw, you know, if I know
throwing
something,
it out there.
yeah, you know what I mean. Do with it, you know, what you may, you know, and it might lead to something, might help. You never know, you know what I mean. Or maybe somebody watching it could help too.
Right.
You know what
I
I mean.
can go back and clip that and go. You know what I mean? Go
Exactly.
look into it. That's one thing, because that's one thing about me. Like coming from the streets, I always like I take consideration of what anybody tell me. You get what I'm saying? Like some people be like, man, they talking about nonsense. Even if I feel like I've heard it before, I still take it in consideration and just try to figure out what could I take out of it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's important to have, you know, to have an open mind with things, right? Too, because a lot of times we grow up in certain shit that's like made fun of and it might not seem cool, but like you never know till you try. What if you go out there and play tennis and it just comes natural to you?
No bullshit.
And you know what I'm saying?
No
like
bullshit.
You never know. Like have that open mind.
No, that's facts.
That's for sure. So I mean, when you get out of New Hampshire, probation, parole, how does that work? Did you have a chance to see parole? I guess, is there a parole in county? How's it work?
Nah, they had a parole, but that's not what I pled out to.
Okay.
So again, it was just.
So it has to be like a parole bid.
It's kind of like I basically kind of have like probation, but it's like unsupervised.
Probably because you're out of state.
I'm out of state, exactly. So that's why I really don't count it. But again, I had to stay out of trouble, and it's kind of weird because it's like I got 5 new.
All right.
Yeah. Bullshit.
No doubt. So, hey, we're gonna do a little bring it back, come rewind thing, right? I want to bring it back to the childhood. You said you grew up in Roxbury, so I guess, you know, we got a big audience on YouTube. Maybe some people from out of state. Break that down, right? They hear Boston, but they may not. What's Roxbury? Is that a different city? That's part of the city? I guess I know, but break that down for the people who may not know about Roxbury.
So, if you're not familiar with Roxbury actually the capital of Boston. In my eyes. Nah, but so basically Roxbury is like, you know, a city in Massachusetts, but it's more so when people be like, oh, Boston, they'd be like, okay, Roxbury.
But it's not it's not its own city. It's part of
Boston.
Like
exactly.
Boston PD. It's like a borough.
Yeah, it's a borough. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really part of Boston. That's why I said the capital. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you hear Boston, you would think about the hoods. You know what I'm saying? And that's a hood. Like that's where the hoods is at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Roxbury, Dorchester. You feel me? Shit like that.
Absolutely. So I guess talk about like what the environment was like growing up in Roxbury, right? Like what was that like? Did you grow up in the 90s, the early 2000s?
I was born 1995, man. I'm
Okay.
30. So yeah, growing up in Roxbury at my time, again, I'm from Humboldt Avenue. At those times it was scary, I'm not gonna lie. I grew up the Davis family, you know what I'm saying? I could just say that and people was gonna know, but that's where I grew up, you know what I'm saying? That's my family, but I seen a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Like I was exposed. At this time, I wasn't even like going to school. I'm going to school to survive. Yeah. Like when I go to school, that's why I got sent down south to my pops, because I was going to school getting in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm going to school in the ops block. Damn. And now, you feel me, I'm outside seeing, you know, some of the older bros I look up to, I'm watching them die now. Now I'm looking like, damn, life is serious. Like we was just running around, you know what I'm saying, playing, having fun. Now our closest friends dying from gunshots and stuff like that. Drive-bys at the time, drive-bys was famous. You know what I'm saying? That's what they doing. They doing drive-bys and shit like that. So that's my brother Joe.
Absolutely.
So at that time I was just trying to like adapt to that, you know what I mean? Like, damn, if they dying, what could I do to protect myself? And you know what I'm saying? That's what all my cousins were doing. We was in the drugs. I ended up starting to smoke weed like when I was 10 years old.
Wow,
you know what I'm saying? We was running around with guns like 11, 10 years old.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, we was learning how to survive more than we was doing extracurricular activities and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So you said you got sent down to your pops down south. So talk about before, like you went down there, what was the household like? You said you're the oldest of four. You guys all lived together. Who did you live with? Who was the head of the household? What was going on there?
So I'm the oldest of four. And again, when I say the Davis family, again, they gonna know. So, you know, my grandmother, she just passed away. Rest in peace, my grandmother. She had this big ass house, which the family still have, you feel me? We all grew up in a big ass house. My grandmother got like, 4 of my uncles, 3 of my aunties. So now we all together in this big ass house, from basement, top floor, second floor, third floor. We all have our own little room. So, you know what I mean? At this time, me and my mother, we had our room. It was just me and my mother till we had my little brother, which is her second child and shit like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it's probably about 20 of us in this house. You feel me? We deep like that. And then mind you, like each uncle, they all have like 3 to 5 kids, you know what I mean? Like they got a lot of kids. Shit, one of them got like 13 kids.
So I was wondering, being in such a big family, growing up in the hood, the quote unquote hood, Roxbury, right? Was like family members being incarcerated, was that like part of your family? Did you have uncles getting locked up, cousins, or what was going on with that? Was that normalized almost, or what?
So growing up in my household, that was like a normal thing. All my uncles was in and out of jail. We pretty much was raised by the women. And how I looked at it, you know, women, I'm not gonna say women's weak, but when it comes to discipline, they got a breaking point where they gonna allow you to do whatever you wanna do. So that's when we fell victim to the streets, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have our uncles and pops around and shit like that.
No doubt.
All my uncles, again, in jail. My older cousins, they in the streets, they going to jail for shootings and shit like that. So again, as a child, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm thinking is cool, thinking is normal. And you know what I'm saying? Me and my cousin just started doing shit like that.
So, I mean, when they come out of jail, prison or whatever, right? You come home, sometimes they'll be in shape, jacked, right? You know, you got that glow. So it's almost like almost like a glamorization of it, right? In a sense, especially being a kid, you know what I mean? Was that, or did they try to maybe speak like, listen, nephew, this is not really the life you want? I guess, what was the, like, what were those conversations like, if any, I guess, or did you just peep being so young, or how did they move? Like,
shout out MD, Uncle MD, you feel me? Shout out all my uncles, but big shout out Uncle MD, shout out D, you feel me? The ones I just gave a shout out, those was my main two, where it's like, from a child, they was teaching me and schooling me. You know what I mean? Like, they wasn't the ones like, you know, this is what you do, this is how you do it, be knucklehead, boom, you know what I'm saying? They was breaking it down, like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be doing shit like this how you need to be doing shit, this how you need to be moving. I don't even want you doing this, honestly, this is what you need to be focused on and shit like that. But I had a few solid uncles in my camp that was actually like, you know, helping me maneuver through the streets, helping me, you know, make some decent decisions, helping me focus on some money and shit like that. And then, you know, I had the ones who wasn't really there, like, you feel me? They really doing serious time. Like, one of my uncles, he's 70. He just came home and he did probably about, on dogs, he probably did like 40 years in jail.
Yeah, wow.
Like, it's real.
So talk about, like, when did your dad move down south? Like, what happened with that? How old were you, I guess?
I don't know how old I was, but I was very young. My dad had beat 3 life sentences.
Damn.
And he wanted to change his life, so when he had me, you know, my mom was telling me, like, you know, my dad wanted to get serious in life and shit like that. So when he ended up moving down there, you know, he found him a nice little hustle. You know, he was doing his thing and shit like that.
So, I mean, where down south did he move, and like, what happened? Why did you get sent down there? How did that all work out?
So he ended up moving to like it's called Union City. but I grew up in the 3. Shout out Zone 3. You feel me? That's College Park and shit like that. But
So Georgia, Atlanta?
Georgia,
Okay.
yeah, Atlanta, Georgia. My fault. I wasn't specific. Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
So yeah, my again, I grew up in that household. You feel what I'm saying? I'm getting in trouble in the streets again. Where I was where I was going to school was like the op block and shit like that. And at this time, the beef started getting heavy between both neighborhoods. You know what I mean? And it's like when I was going to school, it was like a few dudes from the other side was trying to bully me. And like, I was never somebody that was a punk or afraid of anybody type thing. And so I used to always get in trouble. I got expelled for hitting one of the dudes with a chair, shit like that.
Damn.
And then I kept getting in trouble, kept getting suspended. And again, that's why I said like women's have that breaking point. My mom was trying so hard. And she just like, yo, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Call my phone like, yo, he need discipline. He need a meal in his life. And send me down there.
Wow. Well, shout out to him for stepping up, taking you in and stuff too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're getting in all this trouble at school, right? I mean, does this affect outside of school? Do you start getting in trouble with the law at this point, or is it just strictly school?
It's crazy because at this time, like I'm getting in trouble in the streets, but I'm not getting in trouble with the police. Like the shit I was doing in the streets, like my mama hear about it, or my dad hear about it. Now they on me type shit. So it was never. I started getting in trouble with the law later on in life when I started getting sloppy, just doing stupid. You know what I mean? Shit like that. But
so talk about what this whole move and like how did you adjust to the move? You know, being so young, a lot of times we don't want to leave our friends. You know what I mean? We don't want to leave, you know, the neighborhood. Like that's the whole world. So like talk about that adjustment. Was there other family down there with your pops or just y'all or what?
It was just us. I was by myself, and it was a battle because me and my dad, we used to bump heads. You feel me? Like my dad really worked a lot. He was a truck driver. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from a big home. I'm coming from a big home to be with my dad. My dad's barely home, so now I'm by myself. Now I end up starting getting in trouble. Now it led into, you feel me getting in trouble with my pops. Now my pops kicked me out. I didn't have no family and shit like that. I used to have my homies. I used to go floor to floor with the homies, you know what I'm saying? Sleeping in traps, all types of shit.
Damn. So, I mean, and that was out there in Atlanta?
In Atlanta, Georgia.
So what about school? Did you start going to school in Atlanta, or was it for the summer? Or talk about school down there, what that was like?
I started going to school and shit, and I ended up graduating. You feel me? I ended up graduating high school. My motivation, see, at this time, right, in my family, we didn't have nobody that graduated high school. So I used to always hear, you gonna be just like the rest of the dumb little niggas. You gonna drop out, you gonna go to jail, you gonna do this, that, and the third. So I always had, that was my motivation, be like, you know what, let me go ahead and get my little diploma real quick. Now what you gonna say? You feel me? So that was my motivation. I was playing ball too at the time. I was actually nice in ball. I never had the grades, and again, I was in the streets too, even down there, I was in the streets. So it's like, I really couldn't focus on, you know what I mean, the next level, which was like college and all that shit. I did what I could do in high school, get that diploma, and then that was it.
Damn. So talk about like the difference, I guess, you know, being in the streets up here and down there. Like, is it much? It seems like things are a lot more cramped over here, big, taller buildings. I don't know. I guess break that down, like what it's like down there in Atlanta. But it's a huge city too. So I mean,
yo, it's different out there. Like it's different. Like the shit that goes on out here. Of course, it go on out there, but it's just like. It's weird. So out here, you know, you can't walk around with guns and shit like that without getting in trouble or having any type of, you know what I mean, like license and shit like that. Out there,
just a red state. They're all about that.
It could be. It don't matter how old. You could walk around with that bitch in your hand like this, wave, shoot music video, yo, like this. You know what I'm saying? Snapchat, like it's crazy. So like being in the streets out there, it's a lot more dangerous. I say, you know what I mean, because you end up getting a shootout out there. You know what I'm saying? Someone get hit up or whatever. The police is not coming until they get called. And you know, out there they don't have like, you know, neighborhoods and shit like that. It's really the country. Right. So that's why it's like, you know, gang banging or being in the streets out there is really on a different scale. You know what I mean? Like the police is not really a factor. Wow. You know what I mean? And put it like this, you call the police, by the time you call the police, they're not showing up until like an hour or two. Wow. Depending on where's the nearest police station or where you located. Damn. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's a different ball game out there versus out here, you know what I mean? You do something, the shot spotters go off, and they don't got none of that shit out there.
Wow. So I mean, it could be pretty dangerous out there. But Atlanta's a vibe too, from what I hear. Like, what was your favorite part about Atlanta?
I ain't gonna lie to you. My favorite part about being in Atlanta was growing up in Air Drummer Studio. Oh
Okay.
bullshit, that's Mike Will's studio. Mike Will made it.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Being in Atlanta.
So like, what kind of were you in there? Just like picking up knowledge, getting game. What was your favorite part about that? Like, what did you like about that? Just being.
That's why I started producing that for real. So
Oh,
it was
okay.
like I've been doing like the music shit. I put it like this. Remember I was telling you about basketball, right?
Yeah.
So I was trying my hardest to get back into school. I was trying to figure out like what could I do. So I ended up trying to fall back. I was taking some classes on some music shit. I already knew how to engineer and shit like that. So I just wanted some little type of certification so my family could just be proud of me, you know what I mean, and shit like that. And I ended up networking with a homie, like someone I already knew around the way where I was growing up in Atlanta and shit like that. We ended up going to school together. We got reconnected and shit like that. And he's like, yo, I'll be over here at this studio, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, all right, I'll pull up. He's like, pull up. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm in Mike Will shit. He's like, yeah. The very first time I go over there, I'm in a studio session with Bless. Bless is a producer who made I Just Wanna Rolly with a dabber wrench. I get in a session with him. It's me and him, my mans and shit. And he's just showing us how to produce and shit. I'm just looking like, damn, like that shit look hard. And he's breaking it down like, nah, it's not hard. You just do this, that, and the third. He's like, you rap, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's pretty much the same thing. You just gotta format it in a certain way. So he was breaking it down. He was mad, like humble and cool. He wasn't Hollywood and shit like that. And from there, it just went up.
That must have been inspiring too. So
Nah, it was.
did you, when you said you graduated high school, was that down there or?
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
was down there.
how long after graduating did you eventually have this falling out with your dad and having to like come back up here, I guess? You know, was it right after high school or?
Or the falling out. So basically, we never really saw eye to eye like that. Well, we did, but it got to the point where once he kicked me out, that's when damn near the falling out came, because I wasn't like, I didn't understand his logic. I didn't understand his concept. I always looked at him like, yo, you don't love me. Like, how you gonna kick me out? You feel me? But I never looked at it like you doing shit that he did. You know what I'm saying? He just wants your best interest. So that's how that came out.
I mean, it's your you know, it's your father. You don't got to get too personal. But was it more like a thing where it's like, okay, you're done with high school, you got to be working. What are you doing? Like, what kind? Was it something simple like that? Or,
Nah, it was
like deeper than that.
I got kicked out before high school. I got kicked out of middle school.
Oh, okay.
But nah, it wasn't more so I got to get a job. Again, I was getting in trouble a lot. So he was on some shit like, I done been there, done that. And his thing was, I didn't have my pops in my life, so it's just like, I'm gonna do the best I could with you. And then that's what it was.
Damn. So, I mean, did you end up getting in, you say you got in trouble?
Yo, happy birthday, my fault.
It's all good.
It's a jail call.
Okay,
It's my brother. That's why I said it's a special day. Today's my little brother's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah.
He's calling now?
Yeah, hey yo, happy birthday, Huncho. Yo, my fault, I'm on this podcast. I just wanted to tell you happy birthday though. You hear me?
Yeah, yo, I appreciate the good look. You want me to call you later?
Yeah, call me later. Yo, give a shout out real quick, man.
Hey, hold it up to the mic. Hold it up to the mic.
You on the podcast?
Shout out to the podcast. Be the real niggas, you heard?
Yeah, shout out B Luke.
Absolutely.
Shout out B Luke.
I appreciate
Hey, yo,
you.
call me back, Huncho. I love you. Happy birthday, Brody.
Yeah, I love you too.
All right. Yeah, that's my little brother.
Bro, where's he at?
He was in the feds. He's
in the feds right now?
Yeah, he's in
Damn.
the feds right now, and it's crazy because when I was doing my time, he had just got out from the state.
Yeah.
Just got out from the state, and bam, now he in the feds again and shit.
Damn. How much time is he doing in the feds?
He's still fighting his shit.
Oh, he's still fighting.
He's fighting
He's
his shit
not.
right
He's
now.
just not sentenced or nothing. Yeah, you got
Hell
a
nah.
big case.
Yeah.
I mean, so when did he start getting arrested? Does that mean?
Well, little bro.
Yeah.
So
Sorry about that.
now you good. Shout out Huncho 400.
actually my
That's
little
twin.
bro,
But
too.
little bro started getting arrested. He started getting arrested like right when I came back. Like right when I came back from Georgia, because at this time I'm like, fuck it. I'm old enough. Why the hell do I need to be down here? I come back home. I find out my little brother in the streets. He's in the streets heavy. and you feel me, he's doing what he's doing, and boom. Now, again, he saw what I saw growing up. You see what I'm saying? He's used to what I'm used to, so he ended up adapting as well. You know what I mean? Protecting himself, doing what he need to do, and
Absolutely.
you know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's sometimes I feel like, you know, with my brother, his case happened. I was locked up. I wasn't there, and I felt like if I was a better, you know, if I was doing something else, you know, he would be doing it too. I mean, was that something that you ever? Because I mean, he's fighting the feds, like he's facing a lot of time. Do you ever feel like that guilt, kind of like, damn?
I feel that. Now, I forgot who I said that around the other day. Like I was on the phone. I hear the pain in his voice. Like, you know, when you in there, like you gonna have that moment where it's just like, you know, it's kind of getting to you, but you ain't gonna let it get to you. You feel me? Me and him were just having those conversations, and it's just like, I felt like I failed him. You know what I'm saying? As an older brother, because when he was growing up, I wasn't there like guiding him through this shit, because I was still doing my own thing. I still was like oblivious to certain shit, but he adapted, he did, you know what I'm saying? And he's kind of smart, you know? Well, he's smart. He ain't kind of smart, he's smart, you know what I mean?
I know to the average person, it may feel like kind of stupid, right? What I'm about to say, but I feel like for me, it's really not. I was always like kind of the protector, right? That's my little brother. You know what I mean? You could, certain stuff, I would let you get away with me, but not my brother. And then when we had got locked up, we went to juvenile, and then we went to different blocks. So now he's like, it's like the first time without big bro. And I was not gonna lie, I was like a little nervous, but then there was a staff member, shout out to T.Y., he was up there, and he came down, and he was like, yo, you know, Jojo, that's your brother. He's up in Spectrum with me. I'm like, yeah, man, how's he doing up there, bro? He's like, oh yeah, he's good, bro. And it was kind of like one of those things at the time, like a proud moment in a sense, where it's like, okay, he's standing on man time, right? He's not a snitch, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But it's like, I wish things would have been a little different. Like, do you feel that way too? Like,
I do. Yo, it's crazy because like
there.
when he took his time, so he goes up to the state now. So now he's in the state. I haven't heard from him a little bit. And when he calls his BM. You know what I'm saying? Because his situation is similar to mine, where you go into jail and you having the kid. He have his daughter. You know what I mean? He had his child before I had mine. So again, he's not calling me. He's calling BM. Moth. I get a call from K Mafia. K Mafia is like, he's like, yo, he's like, what the fuck your little brother's booked for? I'm like, nigga, you know, He's like, nigga, me and him on the unit together. So now I'm feeling a little bit somewhat good. Like, okay, I know he's in good hands. Like, I know Mafia, you know, he's the bro. And, you know what I mean? He's going to stand on business. He's going to make sure niggas is good. And just getting them calls, you know, speaking to both of them. Now Mafia's like, you know, he's good. He's protecting himself. He's doing what he got to do. This nigga just got sent out to the box. He just crashed out on it. So now that make me feel good. Like, all right, little bro's good. He's standing on business. He, you know what I mean? He's doing what he need to do. No one's gonna fuck with him. So
well, because I mean, we see it. We see the dudes in there that are like straight like victims. You know what I mean? And I would just be like horrified. I would, if that was like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, bro, like. If that was like someone I knew or loved, really getting treated like that, bullied, their canteen, you know what I mean, stuff like that. So it's like, I know to the average person, it may seem like, oh, you proud that like getting. No, I'm not proud of none of that. Like at least we picked a side at that point, and it's like there was rules to that side that we picked. Like you don't tell, you don't snitch, you don't, you know what I mean? And it's like if someone fucks with you, you gotta stand up for yourself.
You gotta stand on business.
Take no shit.
Nah,
I don't know, man. But
that's one,
people,
like
you
you
know,
said,
if you know, you know
like you said though, it's not like you're proud, but you just again like you know what goes on. So it's like I'm proud to know niggas ain't taking his canteen, niggas ain't bullying him, niggas ain't, you know what I mean? So absolutely. I feel that. I feel that. I
mean, if you're gonna be a dog, be a wolf, right? You know what I'm saying? Fuck.
Nah, for real.
So all right, after high school, what's the plan? Where you at now? Are you just full time? I'm want to do this street thing, or do you start taking the music a little bit more serious?
Nah,
do you not even? What's going on?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I never took music serious, like never. Like I always. So basically, music was my way of how I express myself on some real shit. Like now, the game plan after this shit, I really don't even have no game plan. I'm honestly focused on trying to get some money. I'm lying. The game plan, honestly, because I was going trap to trap, house to house. I'm focused on like, nigga, how could I get a house? How could I do this? How could I do that? And then I'm like, you know what? Why the fuck would I be in Georgia still? I'm old enough. I'm about to take my ass back to Boston. So boom, that's when reality came and hit me. I go back up to Boston. I'm probably in Boston for like 3-4 months, and then I get a call. Your mother your mother's dead, your mother died. I'm just like, what? You know what I'm saying? I get that call, and then I'm speeding to the hospital, and then bang, life changed from there.
Wow. I mean, that's insane. Like, I'm close with my mom. I dread the day that I get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's been a couple times, like my mom's a drug addict. She overdosed it was a couple close calls, and just for those moments, it was like
You get that feeling.
my stomach,
shit,
everything.
I'm already knowing that's just
crazy.
pounding out your chest. So it's just like,
Jeez.
it's a different aspect. Like it really changes you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like anybody, like when my mother passed away, like for the longest, I isolated myself, separated. That's honestly why I feel like, no funny shit, me and K Mafia really would have been somewhere. Cause like when LOE at the time, when I lost my mother, at the time where LOE was structured, you know what I'm saying? It's somebody, you feel me, that's higher up, that's really in the industry, was really trying to invest in LOE, you know what I mean? Like, we was always having our meetings. I was somebody in the group who was always like, yo, I love y'all, I really appreciate opportunity, but I'm not signing no deals right now when I'm really in the trenches, when I'm really taking care of these kids, I'm really trying to figure some shit out. Like, I can't go sign that deal right now, you know what I mean? So, that's how I be.
Was there certain things that you did to try to get your mind off of that? Did you start smoking weed heavy, drinking? I mean, what kind of, or did you just like, let me just go on the streets and I can't think about it because I got all this? What did you do?
So me personally, I was emotionally like crashing out. Like I've always smoked weed, so that wasn't a way of coping. I started drinking alcohol more. What I honestly did, I started doing shrooms. I started popping perks and shit like that. That was my way of coping for a little bit.
Yeah.
And
that's understandable. I mean, what about like your role as the oldest brother, right? Did you feel like you had to be the strong one, or did you more isolate, or how did you as siblings kind of handle all of that?
so my sibling at the time, my baby brother was 1. My mother gave birth. Next month, he passed away. It was just him, so he was 1 at the time. I forgot how old my little sister was at the time.
Yeah.
She was real young. My little brother that was just on the phone, he just turned 25 today. So at this time, he's a little, I'm not gonna lie to you, he was stronger than me at that time. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was my strength. He was my backbone at that time, because it's just like, even at her funeral, you feel me, when it was time to speak, I couldn't get a word out. Like, I'm on the mic, you know, trying to speak to everybody, you know, thank you for showing up. I was so weak I couldn't talk, and just seeing my little brother get up there, chest out, head up, thank you, speaking real fluently, like, you know what I'm saying, his words was, that shit gave me strength, like, damn, my younger brother, like, so I was like, okay, like, I need a man up there, you know what I mean? But I don't know, for me, I just felt like it was different, because again, you know what I'm saying, like, it was a lot I missed from my mother, you see what I'm saying? My brother, he was always under my mother, you know what I mean? I ended up getting sent to my pop, so there was a lot I did miss, so that's why I was a little bit more emotional. I mean, that's how I take it, you know what I mean?
Damn.
But I did, after experiencing that, I'm just like, now it's time I gotta man up, like, this is real life now, we gotta figure this shit out, you know what I mean?
Sometimes that's what it takes too, is seeing other people go through stuff and getting strength off of their strength.
There's
been times too I've gotten strength off of my little bro sitting there doing, 15 to life with a 4 to 6 on and after, right? And I'm upstate for 3 years. I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't even have I shouldn't even have the nerve to even be, first of all, I'm 3 years in a state bid, which is such a small timer. I didn't even want to tell anybody, you know what I mean? Unless people really ask. But it's like, you got to find strength in that, you know what I mean? Find strength in each other. We need each other, especially family, but we're, that's how I look at it, man. So, my condolences too, to you losing your mom, bro. That's a tough one. Where was your dad when that happened? Did he come up or what, like to visit, to do the services or anything? Or at that point it was just complete, not even no contact?
At this time, I was telling him, like, I was texting him, like, yo, like, I mentally need you, like, like, I was way more close with my mom than my pops, but I still can go talk to pops or do whatever, but he wasn't really believing me. And he didn't come to the service, nothing like that. But his mom did. My grandmother, rest in peace, my grandmother, she came. My aunt came. A few members from his side, they ended up showing up.
So I mean, now without your mom, without your grandmother, pops is kind of out of state, kind of doing his own thing. I mean, how's that feel as far as like yourself? Is it like, are you against the world thing, or it's like I'm all I got now, or like did you look to friends or with your little brother? Like, how did you go about that as far as, all right, like,
What I'm supposed
the
to
world's,
do.
what's next, right? You still got a whole life ahead of you, man.
That's literally how I look at it every day. I feel like it's me against the world. You know what I mean? Whether I have my little bro, whether I have certain family, whether I got my girl, my son, I still feel like it's me versus the world. You know what I mean? Because again, like the shit my mom would school me on, teach me, shit my grandmother schooled me on, used to always tell me like, your friends ain't your friends. You know what I'm saying? I would never understood that. My pops, your friends ain't your friends and shit like that. So me actually going through the hump, experiencing everything I experienced now. That's why I said now I do feel like it's me versus the world. Because now you really see who's there with you. You see people like we said, people gain strength off people. So like people see the shit that I go through, they get the strength off that shit. You know, they might come around for their reasons. I give them a little bit of motivation. They go do what they do, which is understandable. Yeah. But you know what I mean? I feel like I'm someone people always just use because I got a big heart.
No problem, man.
You know what I mean?
That's how it goes sometimes. But it's like, I don't know, just be yourself. The way I look at stuff like that is like, whatever. I'm not gonna change being me. If people want to try to, you know, do some, that's on them. That's their loss ultimately. You know what I mean?
No, that's a fact.
At it. So, was this a time where you started to like go to the music as an outlet, or was it that not even or was it more other stuff like?
Nah, so now, you know, dealing with all of this, that's when the music became like a thing. Like, you forgot me. You forgot to cope with me. You over here drinking, doing drugs. You forgot to cope with me. So then I end up leaning back onto my music. You know, since I've been home, I always wanted to play football and shit like that. I never got to play because my family couldn't afford it at the time. I was in the streets, and that's my brother right there. Shout out my brother Joe, you know what I'm saying? I met him in the journey of doing something I wanted to do, which is play football and, again, lean on the music and shit like that, producing. I'm back doing shows, DJing, so that gave me like a little outlet, you know, seeing other artists shine, do what they do. You know what I mean? I try to give them, you know, the best pointers I could. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And shit like that helps me smile, like make me smile, shit like
that. And that's what life's about, man. You gotta smile, be happy, man. We ain't here for, you know, we ain't here for a long time. We're here for a good time, you know?
Facts.
Absolutely, man.
Facts.
So you had mentioned that you got in trouble a little later, right? You had these chases, the alleged chases and all that. So I guess, when was the first time you got in trouble with the law? Did you catch any juvenile cases, or was it when you were an adult? What happened?
The first time I've ever got in trouble with the law was when I was younger. I got in trouble with the law twice. The first time when I was in the hood, I was in Howworthy. We used to steal like scooters and shit like that. So somebody had a scooter at this time in the hood, in the neighborhood. So it's me, my cousin, and rest in peace, my Uncle Wayne. We go down there, we get to drop on the scooter. So we try and take that. As me and my cousin, we back there, you know, we know how to hotwire it. So we back there doing our thing, try to hotwire this shit. My uncle, dumbass, he ended up coming back there. Now, by the time my uncle get here, the police gets up in here. So I see the lights coming and shit. No funny shit, I stopped what I was doing, and I don't think I want my mans. So on dog, I just seen the lights. So I didn't even take off. I just stopped, and I just started walking. As I started walking, that's when my uncle, he filled in my place and started helping, what's the name? But by the time I see the police, I actually see them now. Now I'm telling them like, yo, the boys. Boom, now they run down on us. They asking us like, you know, what we doing, I'm on some shit like, you feel me? This is my hood. I'm from here. I'm just kicking it. I'm waiting for my mans to come outside. They like, who stay right here, this, that, and the third. I'm like, my homeboy, he stay right here. What's your homeboy's name? I'm giving them some nicknames. Talking about some, oh, you ain't got a phone to call him. Nah, he told me to meet him right here. I'm outside. So boom, they end up hitting me with trespassing at this time. I got hit with trespassing. I go back down to Atlanta. I was coming up every other summer. Boom, I come back another summer. And then I end up getting in trouble at down there in Southie at this little train station. So now down here in this situation, it's like me, a few of the other little homies from the hood and shit like that. And we end up getting off at the train station. Boom, we end up seeing one of our homeboys, and it's like another group of 10 motherfuckers. One of them almost pushed bro into the train. So then that's when we run down. We get to beating them up. You feel me? It's like 5 against 10. Some of their members out the 10 was kind of scared, so they get to running. now we get to chasing them and shit like that. We get to chasing them, and then I just remember like my little brother had fell, and like two of them they was trying to jump on him, so they was trying to jump on him. My cousin, he was a little bit farther ahead of me. Cousin started piecing them up. Now I come up behind them, boom, hits one of them. Now I ends up stomping one of them out.
Damn.
They got that on the they got it on surveillance. I end up going back down to Atlanta now. After all, in the midst of all of that, goes back down to Atlanta. Now my mom's calling me like, you know, you have a warrant. Your father's gonna have to give you a plane tickets for you to come clear this warrant. I'm like, for what? Damn. She's like, you know for what? You little stupid ass. You know what you did. I'm like, Mom, what I did? She's like, we're not even about to play these games. Your friend had told on you. His mother had to call me. We both had to go down to the station. We see y'all on surveillance, da-da-da-da-da. So then that was a little second time I had gotten in trouble on some shit, and then it was like a little slap in the wrist too. Then
was that like juvenile court at that point, or was that? Okay.
It was like a little juvenile court shit, but all of that had got dismissed and shit like that.
Okay, so then what about as an adult? When do you catch your first charge as an adult? Is it that
my first charge as an adult was it was that petty shit. It was the DUI. It was the DUI
and all that.
Well, yeah, being like convicted or something, like a little misdemeanor or something. Because I never
even
really
just the first time
like
just
being
being charged,
in.
being arrested as an adult, and then having to go to court, even if you didn't get convicted.
You have
to go to court.
Oh, then it definitely would be it would be assault and battery on the officer. Then that was the first time. Yeah, I did step in for that, but that got dismissed, and then that's when all the other, the petty shit, and then the out of state shit, and then.
So you get like the assault on the officer? Is that something that they try to hold you in jail for? Or do they give you a bail at that time, not having a record, or like what?
Nah, it's
you have to sit.
Well, I didn't have a record to them technically at that time, so they had got the footage back from the officer, so that's why they didn't like really try to pursue it, because the officer was really in the wrong.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's why they wasn't really trying to pursue nothing.
So it never even went to trial?
It never got that deep like that.
So like, what's your mind state after that, right? Do you think like, okay, like now I'm John Gotti, right? Like, oh, they can't get me? Or is it like, oh man, this is a wake up call? Or was it just another day, another dollar, like, I don't know, part of the game?
That's really how I felt at the time. I kind of felt like I was untouchable. I'm like, shit, I'm out here doing all types of shit. I ain't going to jail for it, so let me just keep going. And then eventually I went to jail for something, you feel me? That's literally how I was feeling, like, yeah.
So when does the mind state change from, being like pretty much fully invested into the streets into trying to legitimize things and really take the music serious? Was it a certain instance? Was it the the birth of your son? Is it a son? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's my son. Yep.
Was that it, or talk about that?
Like just get serious about life, period. Honestly, yeah, my son, just the birth of my son, the thought of him alone, you know what I'm saying? Again, because I lived what I lived, you know what I mean? And I'm really lucky for a lot of shit, no bullshit. So just thinking about, me and my father's relationship and, again, things I've seen on my own eyes, I just strongly want to, have a foundation for my son. You know what I mean? Like I said, my LLC, I'm trying my hardest to get this shit up off the ground and get the trust, so that way when he grow up, he already have something to go off of. Like, I was always someone who, I stood on all 10 of these. My 10 toes, I stood on them shits alone. So I don't ever want him to, have to deal with that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that was my biggest motivation, was my son, and me doing the music now. Again, I got Moth managing me for real now. So it's like, all right, let's take this shit serious. Let's get this off the ground, and you know what I mean. Let's give my son a life I always wanted, or even better.
So did you were you out for his birth? Did you get to see him be born? You were out for that, and like talk about that experience.
So again, I was fighting my case. I had this one court date where I had to go to the court, but matter of fact, this is pre-trial, actually. This is pre-trial, and it's weird as hell, yo, because again, I was fighting my shit like I told you in 2022. So my lawyer was on some, yeah, we got this, we gonna beat this. It don't even matter the evidence, they got you, da-da-da-da-da. It went from that, me having a kid, I ended up coming back from on the run to, I don't think I can represent you in trial. If you want to go to trial, I don't have, you feel me? He was on some shit like that. And then once I started seeing that, I just was like,
Damn.
that just switched my whole mindset up. Like, you feel me? Now I got to do what I need to do and, you know what I mean, lock in.
Yeah. So what about when you were doing your time? Did you have contact? Were you able to talk to him on the phone or like a visit? Or
My fault. I never got to say that. So before I took my time, again, when he told me he couldn't represent me, I told him like I'm having a child, and the course was basically like, you know, we can at least allow you to see the birth of your child, but after that, you have to turn yourself in. And they gave me 2 weeks. So I was with my son. I was there for the birth. Got to hold him for a good 2 weeks, and then after that, I had to go take my time.
Man. And then, okay, so talk about doing time, right? Like, what's the worst part about being locked up? Did you have to do any whole time? Was it the stripping after, you know, whatever? Everywhere you go, you got to get naked and caught. Like, talk about some of the bad parts about
for people that don't
being
know.
locked up. Yeah, you know, I mean, because sometimes people may get the wrong idea. You make the most out of a bad situation. So sometimes we crack jokes, catch frack, whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? But it's really just, trust me, anybody was offered to get out, they're going to get out that day, right? But it's just, you got to make the most of a bad situation. But I think people get the wrong idea. So I like to put it out there, like, what are some of the bad parts? What's the worst part?
Yeah. I say the worst part is being in jail, honestly, is the strip searching. That's just
dehumanizing for
sure.
sure.
That's uncomfortable as hell to have to strip in front of another man, do the squat cough.
Yep. And the messed up part is sometimes you actually get used to it, and then it's just like by the end, it's like it's no sweat. It's like, okay, it's the routine, which is really the messed up part. But
nah, that is the messed up part. It's just like you mentally know when they come in for certain shit, that's what they here for. Boom, we got to do this just so they can hurry up and go. You feel me? You don't deal with nothing. But honestly, that and I say like for some people, if you don't really have a support system, no food, like, you feel me, getting no commissary, shit like that.
That's for sure. I want to touch on that a little bit,
Go ahead.
especially in this country too, because, you know, I came up Section 8 food stamps, right? Like, going to bed hungry. Like, even my mom had, like I told you, shoplifting in New Hampshire. She did what she had to do. We never went without.
Right.
Even, like, being poor in this country, you go down the street, and there's homeless people, and they're obese, right? So it's like, I never really experienced going to bed hungry. Like, until like jail, and I think most people probably haven't. Was that something that you had to experience? Because sometimes you gotta wait till the canteen drops, or you're in the hole and you just don't have access.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, because before I took my time, like, I was really hustling. Like, I was preparing for this shit. You see what I'm saying? So if I call home, I was touching my money, or you feel me, I left shorty with a little something, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I was getting my food. Like, I had a solid foundation of, you feel me, my shorty, my bosses where I work at, and you feel me, other people who I fuck with, they was really feeding me. But I was someone on the unit, like, I was eating good. Like, I'm getting $100 bags every time I order commissary, but there's people on the unit that I was observing where it's like I had to break my food. I didn't have to, but you feel me having a big heart, seeing you really struggling like that. Like, I seen that with my own eyes. I've seen somebody come in, they probably like 2 something during the beginning of my bid, damn near midway in my bid. They you can see their rib cage now, like, you feel me? Cause you know some of the food in there niggas don't be eating for real. Like, they ain't gonna eat breakfast and dinner, lunch if that's just some slop. So that's one thing I saw. Like, people was really starving in there. Like, people didn't really have support system. You got people who's not used to cell time, who's really breaking down mentally. So now they really they're crashing out on their support system, cussing them out, this, that, and the third. Now that just shut down their whole campaign for them eating and shit like that. So it's like I seen all of that. You know what I mean?
I mean, just imagine being, you know, a grown man and like having to like humble yourself and ask, hey, you mind if I get a soup or a cup of coffee or something? It's a bad hit for sure.
It is a bad hit. Yo, coffee, that's how you get some money. Get you a bag of coffee.
So that's where I started drinking coffee was Plymouth. But turns out I was born addicted to caffeine. My mom was hooked on Pepsi when she was a teenager. So I'm like, okay, so everything's full circle because now I'm like a straight coffee addict.
Right. Nah, fucking with you, I'm fucking with you.
Absolutely, man. So, but even sometimes too, even if you got money, sometimes like you gotta wait like a week to order canteen, and like, man, I didn't friggin' eat a soup packet before. I seen people, I never did this. People were telling me they were eating like toothpaste and crazy stuff in there. It's just it's sad, man. You know what I mean?
Nah, I seen it.
It's crazy. And I mean, what about, you had mentioned mental health, right? Was that something that you had to like kind of address your mental health in there? Was it instances where it was like, damn, I'm on the edge? Or
nah, I really had to, me as a person, had to address my own mental health. You know, shit I've been telling you about, like shit I've seen early, like early age. I've held a friend that died. I watched a friend die in front of me. So there's a lot of trauma I deal with that I don't really speak about. So now when I'm actually doing my cell time, I go to the hole for the first time. My first fight when I'm in this bitch, I'm in a hole now. So it's like, that's when I really started like feeling the emotions leave my body. Like when I get mad at something, now I see why I'm getting mad. I'm starting to understand why I'm getting mad when, you know what I mean? So, and that's another thing too, like
emotional intelligence.
Yeah, I had high blood pressure and I get angry quick. So, you know, just sitting in there, you know, reading some books and shit like that, I start to understanding my own emotions and, you know what I mean, starting to check myself when, you know how you'll get mad at a CEO type shit, just because he a CEO. He might be a cool CEO or asshole, but you just mad because that motherfucker's a CEO, so you cussing him out. I used to do shit like that, and then I used to have to like check myself, like, you over here stressing yourself out about what? Now you get mad when they go ahead and full restrain you. Now you get mad when they slam you and doing this and third, but you caused it on yourself. So that's what I used to realize certain stuff, and I used to be like, you know what? Let me slow down. Let me move like this. And what also got my mind thinking like that was that first fight I was in, that sent me to the hole. One of the CEOs, cause a GD, his old GD white boy, he called me nigga. And we had got it. So in New Hampshire, I guess the white boys out there, they just call, you feel me, black people niggas, and nobody say nothing about it. So
like, okay, like on some racist shit, or just like on some hip hop kind of, that's how they talk.
They
shit?
do,
Even
they
though
do
not
both.
Okay,
they do both, but me, period, I don't respect it, period.
No.
I don't give a fuck you got family. I just don't respect it. So, you know, when I got in my altercation with old boy, I got sent to the hole. You feel me? It was a CEO named Simity. He's from Lawrence, Spanish cop, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Spanish CEO. And he was like, I commend you for that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes be letting folks walk on. You came and stood on business. But he was like, yo, what you need to do though? He's like, calm down. He's like, not because I started crashing out on CEOs and all types of shit. So he was telling me like, yo, you gotta calm down. He was like, don't let motherfuckers know that you're mad and shit like that. And when he started breaking it down, cause he was like, you got people like me that kind of see you and respect how you move. And then you got other CEOs, you know, that might not like you. Once he said that to me, and I started doing certain shit, I started to see certain CEOs that give me this, and when certain CEOs see that CEO doing it, they like, oh, he's fucking with him, so why he fucking with, let me fuck with him. You see what I'm saying? So now I started to see it was more so chess than checkers. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So what was the longest amount of time you had to do straight in the hole? Like what does a fight get you? I mean, does it get you? Out here, it depends. Everywhere you go is different. Cambridge was like 10 days for a fight, as long as nobody else jumped in. Or some places like a month. So, how long did you have to sit in the hole for?
I had to sit in like, how many days? I damn near, no funny shit. I did majority of my bid in the hole. I'm not gonna lie.
In and out though, right?
Yeah, in and out. I'm not gonna lie. Again, I was sentenced for the year. I did 8 months. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I did only like 2 months on a regular unit. The rest, it was in the hole.
Oh, damn.
The rest was in the hole. The fight in the hole, we ended up splitting. So how it started off me first. Again, old boy called me nigga, da-da-da. I'm on the phone. I think this is a little bit, matter of fact, I think this is like around my son's birthday. Like I'm telling my son happy birthday because my BM, she's Puerto Rican and black. So my celly, shout out my nigga Sosa. Sosa's doing 16 right now in the feds. He's my celly at the time, and Sosa's Dominican. Cause remember I told you they isolated me with the Spanish. So now I'm asking Sosa how to speak Spanish so I could, you know what I mean, say happy birthday to my son and shit. So I'm on the phone.
Feliz cumpleaños.
You feel me? I'm on the phone saying that shit to my son and all that. So my BM's like, what the fuck? How you learn Spanish? Da 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 da. And as I'm on the phone with them, I hear a door pop, and I'm like, I already knew what time it was. You know when you know, I just knew what time it was, bro. So I turns around now. I'm on the phone still, and old boy opens up the hut door. He opens up his door. He's just like this. Now everybody on the tail looking at me like, ooh. Mind you, when I first touched down, I'm like, I don't know none of y'all niggas. I don't give a fuck about nothing going on. Don't, You feel me? Don't try me. So I guess motherfuckers like, you know, he's sweet. He ain't trying to fight. He's sweet. So again, old boy opened the door. He's like this, like, come on, everybody like, ooh and shit. So I'm on the phone, just like, I'm about to go work out, babe. You feel me? I'll call you back. Da 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 da. Bong, hump the phone. Goes up in there. My celly, he goes up in there too, cause old boy, he did some shit with him too, whatever. But I'm telling him like, yo, bro, let me get this nigga first, whatever. We goes up in the cell. Me and old boy fighting 1-on-1. You feel me? Doing this nigga, whatever, bum. He's end up trying to run out the cell. That's where my celly was standing right there at the hut door. Grabs this nigga, bong, slams him. Now we tearing this nigga up. I ended up banging the nigga head on the, you know how the sinks are. They got them little curves and shit.
Well, Day Heat had famously said on here, he's like, the furniture don't move. Yeah, in prison, that shit don't move. It's metal in the block.
You said
so,
Day Heat?
Yeah, shout out
Day Heat, no bullshit.
Absolutely.
Hey yo, so yeah, I ended up banging the nigga heads on that shit and ended up putting a hole in his head. So we gave the nigga 2 black eyes.
Damn.
He put a hole in this nigga head. He ended up getting stitches in his left eyebrow. So now they thinking I'm one of my old boy, my man's, he's Trini and shit. So now they thinking I'm not. So now when they put us in the hole, they investigating. We get in the hole, and then I end up getting hit with like extortion in the hole because fucking when I first get to the hole, I'm in full restraint. So like I got the shackles, I got a fucking shower with the shackles and shit. I can't even, you know. So about time they end up letting me out, I can come out with everybody and shit again. I was getting commissary, and when I was getting my bag, I was giving my bags out to niggas. You know what I'm saying? And niggas just kept asking me for shit. I'm just like, bro, you ain't give me nothing. You keep asking. Like you feel me? Give me something from your state tray. Like you feel me? Give me a juice. Give me something. You gonna keep asking. So I got to the point I started taking nigga shit. Then boom, they hit me with that. That's another ticket. So now I gotta sit for that. You feel me? Then about time I go hit the unit, fucking my celly, he ends up doing some weird shit to the CEO. The CEO felt like he was high, so bam, they run down on our cell now. Now I'm in the cell, so you know we all suffer repercussions. So bang, now I go back to the hole for that shit. Now they doing the strip searches, they trying to find drugs, you know, shit like that.
That's nuts. I mean, all that time in the hole. I mean, did you ever like what are some techniques that like you used in the hole as far as like, you know, like you said, you watching you're watching yourself feeling these feelings, this anger, it's coming and going. Like what is something that you like maybe learned in there how to deal with that you take out here? Like do you still use some of that? Because you know things out here could be crazy too in a different way. You know, it's more chaotic. But you don't really have the time to sit with yourself, so you gotta be faster.
Honestly, what I learned in that experience was your breath control. You can control your breathing, you can control your feelings, you can control the moment. Okay. You know what I mean? So one thing, when I was like learning that aspect, because again, I got high blood pressure, so you know, all this anger and all of this, it's just building it up. Now you feeling headaches, dizzy, and all types of shit. So when I was learning how to control my breath, because again, in the hole, it's cold as fuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have like, you know what I mean, hoodies and shit like that. You know, the little gray hoodies and shit that you have in there. I didn't even get none of that. Oh, I had it, but they took my shit. But again, I was cold a lot and I was mad a lot, so I was learning to control my breath. And once I was doing that, I started to, again, feel the emotions, feel the rage shit. A CEO come in, he'd come in on some petty shit, and you're like, oh, he could be like, fuck you, you know, you would just get mad instantly. Once I started learning how to control my breath, when I was, you know, experiencing shit like that, I just brush it off. Like,
I mean, that's a whole thing too, a whole lane, like breath work. This dude,
meditation.
Shane Vick though, man, he said it changed his life, learned like breath work and all that stuff. I haven't like looked too deeply in it. I know I got a book, but it's a whole thing. Is that something that you just learned intuitively, or did you start to like get curious and study it, or dude?
Nah, so freaking, again, my man Sosa, he was like a fucking muscle head gang. Like he's one of those just always want to work out. Okay, they locked us in. He won't work out. He's telling you, yo, get up off the cell, work out. And I'm just like, dog, I don't want to fucking work out. Come on, you skinny. They gonna try you. I don't care about none of that. Work out. So then he get the breaking shit down. Once he started seeing me crash out, because when I came in, I was on some cool shit. Like I'm really calm and cool, collective person. But you feel me? If we gotta go there, it's a different me, you feel me? So once he seen that side of me, he was on some, nigga, you can't turn this off now. Now you angry. Like, I don't like that. He's like, yo, you need to relax. He's like, you need to meditate. I used to always hear people tell me, like, you need to meditate. Then he's like, He's like, if you don't want to meditate, what you need to do is work on your birth control. He's like, work on your birth control, work out. He's like, you're going to start to feel a little bit better.
Wow.
So I started implementing that. When we got to the hole, again, I was talking to myself a lot. I was doing a whole bunch of shit. And then I was doing them push-ups. I just felt myself a little out of breath one day, and I just
Right.
started
Even that right
breathing.
there, it was a little
You
peaceful.
feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that shit just felt peaceful. I'm just like, hold on, wait a minute. I'm like, damn, I forgot what I was mad at. Sat down, read me a little book.
It's powerful.
You feel me? Sat down, read me a little book, and just, I was like, hold on, let me try this again. Did it, I felt good.
Wow.
No bullshit.
Was there ever a point when you were locked up about, like, did you ever think, like, damn, I want to do the right thing for mom or anything like that? Was that a conversation you ever had with yourself?
Honestly, I felt like I was like, okay, I want to do this for my mother, but I couldn't say like, yeah, I want to do the right thing and straight pursue it, because you know, you know, I'm still growing, I'm still learning.
Absolutely.
So it's like I'm not the type of person that's going half-ass myself. Like I know personally, me, it takes for me to actually go through something to actually, you know what I mean. So what I can say is, I was like, you know, trying to build myself up to that aspect where it's like, you know what, I want to do this. I want to actually be positive and actually focus on this and not half-ass, you know what I mean?
I think I was having a conversation the other day where I think a lot of dudes, when they say that jail talk, right? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna do the right thing, right? I feel like in that moment, like you could probably lie detect these people and they really mean it in the moment. It's just about getting out, getting distracted, not having the resources. I mean, some people literally are set up to fail. Like, what if you're, I mean, I seen a crackhead, the only place they had to go is a crack house. I mean, your street dude, they gotta go to a house where people are hustling, a trap house or whatever, man. I mean,
that's offending.
Talk about how difficult it is, man.
It is difficult. It is difficult because, again, when I came home, I'm sitting here thinking like, all right, I'm going to do everything I want to do. I want to do this. And then, boom, I come home, I pick up 5 new cases. I got 5 new felonies I'm fighting right now. So it's just like, that shit slowed me down. Like, damn, you want to go do this all over again? Like, yo, bro, I'm still, again, I got time over my head from that last case. Then I got this shit. You see what I'm saying? So now, I was like, all right, yo, you're forcing it. Like, chill out. You feel me? So, again, like, shout out my bro Joe. Like, you know what I mean? I go to practice and shit like that, play football. It's my first time ever playing football. You know, I have talks with bro. You know what I mean? He'll tell me some shit out of his life and shit he deal with his being. Like, I'll be thinking shit sweet on my end. You hear somebody else's shit. You feel me? Not to wake you up. Like again, I'm just like, damn.
Just not to bring up another quote.
Nah, I heard somebody else. You good? We talking.
I heard somebody else, shout out to Joey Lawler, Lace Up Podcast, but he was on here too. He said, if everybody threw their problems in a pile, a lot of people be quick to pick theirs back up once they see what other people go through.
I swear, like no bullshit. Like, I be telling bro, and bro see certain shit, you feel me? But bro got to break it down some shit, and I'm just like, damn, I don't deal with that, and I wouldn't know what it's like to deal with that, you know what I mean? And I see how he carry himself, and I'm like, damn, nigga, I think I'm strong. Like, nah, nigga, you strong, you know what I mean? So just hearing shit from his point of view, and then others, you know what I mean, I deal with, it's like, damn, like, you really, I don't say the word blessed, but it's bliss, you know what I mean? You like, it's damn, like, you got to get your shit together too, because it could be worse. I used to hate that saying too. I used to hate when people be like, oh, there's people out here that got worse than shit. I used to hate that shit.
Bro, I remember reading a book where, I forget the name of the book, this parents tortured a child. Like, they stuffed the kid in the bathroom with a bucket of bleach for like hours. You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy.
You know, then there's people mothers that kill their baby. You know what I mean? There's crazy stuff going on there. So it's definitely always somebody who got it worse for sure. So I want to know too, what did you learn about yourself, right? Coming out of jail? Yeah, coming out of jail. Like, what are some things you learned about yourself that you might not have knew or what?
Number one thing I learned about myself in jail was, before going into jail, I never had patience. So I had to learn to develop patience. Another thing I learned about myself was, you know, I'm real genuine. Like, before, okay, I knew I was genuine, but again, when I got to jail, it was genuine on a different aspect. Like, again, like, I see this motherfucker, he's kicking it with, you know what I mean, with us, you know what I mean, we doing the workouts, but he ain't eating like that. You know what I mean? So shit like that, I was just like, damn, like, shit, let me toss him this. And again, that's how I found out, like, okay, you really are too genuine. You gotta cut that shit out.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, some people.
Because this a dog world. It's
Yeah.
eat or get eat out here. It's-
People will take it. People will definitely take advantage, and you know, sometimes that's how it is. I seen my mom was always like that. You know what I mean? Too kind, great heart. You know what I mean? But people will walk over you.
will.
Sometimes you got to stand up for yourself.
You
I
have
always
to.
say like one. You know, set the example. Don't be the example. Sometimes
it.
it's unfortunate, but like those situations though too, like being locked up and someone calling you the N-word. It's like, say you did have like a big, like a life bid or something, and you go in front of the parole and they see stuff like they don't understand it. What are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like,
and that's another thing. What I hated
that's
about.
why I feel like I'll let you
Nah, you
continue,
good.
but I
You
feel like
good.
maybe on the parole board they should have like an ex-convict or something. That's someone who kind of like can see like, listen, you know what I mean? Maybe break it down. Like you can't
you get
say
a-
what, go to peace. Like it's
PC,
not.
yeah, you get a concept. I get what you mean. You get like a
Yeah.
concept, but that's another thing too. I hate about Rockingham County. Like, you have sentence and pretrial inmates together. That's crazy as
Yeah.
fuck. I never heard of that.
That's grounds for a lawsuit. I think if something really bad happens, because I don't think they're supposed to really be doing that.
They're
even
not,
though
and they do. And that's crazy because again, you got some people that's sitting in the county waiting to get picked up. You got them with pretrial.
Yep.
You got some that don't even know they doing the elbow. You feel me? But they over here with somebody got to do a couple petty months.
Yep.
So that's like another thing I used to hear. Like when I got on the unit and shit like that, classifications. I'm hearing a lot of people crying about, oh, I gotta do 30 days.
that's
Oh,
the
I gotta
worst,
do
too.
60 days. This, that, and the third. And I'm like, bro, you crying about that? Like, I'd
Yeah.
rather do that, gang. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, no,
You know what I
I
mean?
get that. I had a cellmate that was doing 6 months. I was in Bill Ricker doing my probation time, but I was indicted, so I was facing
Okay.
state time. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yep.
I got second sub, school zone, so right there at that time it was like 5 mandatory minimum, 2.5 on and after, mandatory minimum for the school zone minimum. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking like, damn, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I ain't trying to hear all
Hear
that.
all that
bro.
at
You know what I
all,
mean? Like,
yeah.
come on.
Like, come
so
on.
talk about the music, right? Like, what's next for the music, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have out now? Say if the people want to look for you, do you got some songs out there? I know you got some freestyle, some content out there. You're
Yeah.
spitting some stuff on Instagram, but what about like albums, videos? Is that stuff you're working on? Or talk a little bit
So yeah, I'm working on some new shit right now. We also working on some shit for LOE as well. When I was locked up, my album got taken off all platforms. Don't know how. I just know when I was locked up, everybody's calling me like, yo, what happened to your album? Shit's gone. I come home, look for the album, shit's gone.
Wow.
So I'm in the midst of dropping just new projects. But before I do the projects, anything like that, I'm focused on solo. So I appreciate you for this because this is gonna be the start of everything. Once I do this, after I do this, I'm gonna drop a single, I'm gonna go shoot the video, and then my goal is to be consistent. You know, I'm at least try to drop 2 videos every month for now.
So what if guys locally want to collaborate? They're out here watching this, you know what I mean? They get a hold of something, they like it, you know,
Yeah.
they want to work with you. I think collaboration is going to be a big part of the success of New England.
That's offended.
So talk about that. Is that something you're willing to do, collaborations and work with people, and why is that important?
Hit me up, Scoop Gotti, you know what I'm saying, on all platforms, Glockwork on Facebook, you know what I mean? I'm a very open, genuine dude. I'm not one of these big heads. You will see, we work with celebrities, bring them out for events and shit like that. I can get you features with some. I'm not the type of person who's like big head or think I'm here or think I'm above anybody. We all in the same pot. So, you know, you want to do a feature, hit me up. I think features is honestly important. Collaborating with people is honestly important because it's just like, I might have my own crowd, you might have your own crowd. We bring them together. Now we have an audience.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I mean, that's just my outlook of it. You know, everybody might view it differently. I never view it as competition and shit like that. For me, it's all growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, say everything goes according to plan, which we know that's usually not how things go, but right, where do you see yourself, you know, a few years from now? What does it
years?
look like? What does a day in the life of Scoop Gotti look like 5 years from now? Everything goes the way it's planned.
So everything goes according to plan. How I see life, all my cases is over with. I see my son. I see probably about a couple more kids behind him, maybe one or two.
I hear that.
Realistically, LLC is going to be up and running off the ground. I will have some property. I'm already in the works of having property at the moment. So, you know, just me still learning the knowledge I'm learning. In a couple years, I definitely see myself having some property, some passive income, and my LLC established. And I also see me, you know, doing something big for the city. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's fire. So, now you're a father, so say your son gets to a certain age, right? Gets a little older, and I don't know, maybe he's, getting caught up in the wrong things, right? And you've been through it. Your father was trying to maybe tell you, but maybe just delivering the message the wrong way, or maybe some people gotta learn the hard way, but like hopefully that's not the case. But like, what is some things that you would say to your son? You see him kind of sliding down the wrong path when he gets a little older.
I can just best navigate him. I can just tell him like, I've been here, done that, but I feel like by the time I get to say that to him, you see the generation now, he probably pops, I don't want to hear that, you old, but again, I'm not going to allow that to just brush me off and, not be his father, because at the end of the day, I brought him in this world. He didn't ask to be here. So I can see myself just, allowing life to teach him, because that's, the best teacher out here is life. That's how I learned. So it's like, I will say what I want to say to him, but again, he will do what he do, but that don't mean I'm going to give up on him and not keep trying to guide him in the right direction, you know what I mean? I don't know specifically what I would say, but in the moments, I'll say some positive shit to my son to encourage him to know, again, like, you can be yourself. You ain't gotta be no gangster. You ain't gotta be, you feel me, running around. You don't gotta go block the block and all that to feel accepted, or, you know what I mean? You can be you. Like, that's me. I'm from a hood. I'm from a block, but I stand 10 toes, you know what I mean, on my toes. Like, I stand 10 toes down, you feel me, by myself. Like, never needed nobody, protect myself. Anybody know me out here, they know I'll protect myself, do what I need to do, go make my money, handle my business. You know what I mean? So I want that for my son, but better.
So what's the main message that you wanted to, you want somebody to get maybe from your story? You know what I mean? What's the main message you want to?
The main message, I want everybody to understand, if they didn't learn anything from my story today, the one thing I want y'all to learn is, like, there's no limits to life. You can do anything you want to do, you know what I mean? The sky is really the limit. I know people say that shit, but what I want you to get out of that is, understand your situation. Look at where you was at a couple years ago. Look at where you at now. Look at your mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you evolve. You're not, at the same spot. So with that being said, you just got to keep going, but go harder. If you really want that shit, you're going to go harder. You know what I mean? And that's just the message I can give people.
Absolutely, man. I mean, nothing worth having is ever going to come easy. So like, if you're looking at it like, man, this is hard, that means you're doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing. Damn right.
Absolutely. So why was it important for you to come up here and tell your story? Why did you feel like that was important for you to come up here? We talked, you didn't have to come up here. Why did you want to come up here?
I feel like it was important for me because, again, I'm someone from a dangerous hood. You feel me? From the city. So, again, in the hood, I have my role as I'm myself. I'm me. You know what I mean? But the hood knows. The hood love me. You know what I mean? Hood treat me. But you got the outsiders be like, oh yeah, he's from there. So again, I wanted to come tell my story because, I got brothers like him, you know what I mean? He's not a street person, but at the end of the day, how Massachusetts run, everybody feel like you have to be from somewhere to be somebody, and you don't. You can be your own person. You can be your own self, you feel me? So that's why I felt like, you know what I mean, I was needed to come up here and say what I say, you know what I mean? Let you know, like, I'm someone who did it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I did it without anybody around me running with me. I did it by myself, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you can do it and better.
Exactly, and it's like the more people that come up here and people can see that they did it, it's like you got to kind of look at yourself and be like, am I making excuses? You know what I mean? It's like you got to look at yourself, and now it's on you. You're out there watching, and you see, I've had over 100 episodes, and unfortunately some people do end up going back. Couple have passed away, lost to street violence, overdoses, man, and that's sad. So I feel like, people come up here, not everybody has the chance to bounce back. So if you have that chance, make sure you take it. And before I let you go, I guess, was there anything that you wanted to touch on that we didn't get a chance to? Or I guess, if not, some closing words for the audience?
Nah, I feel like we touched on everything. Closing words I have, tell you I appreciate you, for this opportunity to come up here, share my story.
Likewise.
And again, man, just be yourself. Do what you want to do. Don't allow society or, what goes on. Don't ever let that jeopardize or determine your life. Like, you are who you are. You could be who you want to be. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be no gangster. You don't have to be. You feel what I'm saying? I tell you the truth, bro. You go to jail, the gangsters will tell you could be the most lamest nigga on the block. As long as you be yourself, I will give you your respect, and that's a fact. You see what I'm saying? You got people out here doing shit that they don't want to do to try to be cool or fit in. And it's like, you ain't got to do none of that, bro.
Absolutely.
Be you, go to get you some money, do what you want to do, boss up, elevate. You feel what I'm saying? Because nowadays, what we say last episode, what came on said, the squares, the lame niggas out here fucking your bitch.
Winning. Right.
They winning. You know what I'm saying? They go make their money peacefully while you over here looking left to right, head over your shoulder, while the next nigga over here getting some money. So why you can't go get some money?
Absolutely. There it is. You heard it from Scoop Gotti himself right there. I am B. Luke. Remember, it's the Bounce Back Podcast. It is what it is. What's next is what you make it. On that note, we're out of here. Peace.
We out of here.
Bounce back, ain't got a moment when they see you down the